The elite are here to change the world of professional wrestling. So, as everyone knows, and yeah, I took that from Sandy Not Included, classic shock value show, basically. As many of you know, AEW had their big rally, this big conference, and at the end of the video, a little over 100,000 people on all platforms, so Periscope, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, a little over 100,000 people had watched in, and accumulated, and the Young Bucks tweeted out that over 300,000 people had watched the video after 24 hours had passed. So, yeah, this is a sign that this is gonna be big. Granted, I know it's not the millions and millions and millions of views that WWE gets. Well, actually, 2,300,000. But look, that's just a sign of what could become if it grows to an exponential rate. This is just AEW in its infancy. Imagine if it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Then it's going to start, that small little number at the beginning is going to be really big. So, the AEW had that big rally, and there was a lot of details in it, and I was excited for this. This was initially going to be a double or nothing rally, and they announced that the company was going to have the big event on May 25th, 2019 at Las Vegas. So I'm looking forward to that. They did not reveal any broadcasting, since I'm certain Ring of Honor New Japan might not be streaming at this time, since details did emerge that New Japan is not looking to work with AEW until Kenny Omega went ahead and talked, until it was reported Kenny Omega left New Japan and was considering signing with AEW, and then they were suddenly like, okay, we can change our minds. We'll leave Ring of Honor in the cold after the G1 Supercard. How about we do work with you guys? Please? We really just want Kenny Omega back. So, yeah, there's been a lot of debate about where this is going, a lot of who's going to be there, who's going to be signing, who's going to be in charge. And sure enough, the Khan family is now in charge. One of them is the president, and the others are providing financial backing. And sure enough, I'm pretty sure that's going to really relieve everyone to say, it's time to bring back the classic Khan meme again, because now the Khan family is running the show, and that's pretty much going to piss off a certain millionaire who should be a billionaire but has a bunch of yes men giving him the worst advice ever. But enough about CM Punk's pipe bomb promo. I think he is a billionaire anyways. Yeah. So the Khan family is now going to start providing the financial backing. One of them is going to be the president of the company. And really, let's be real, it's really Cody and the elite going to be running the show, since this is their company. But before the event, Cody Rhodes had posted a video where the former WWE and WWF performer and is going to be one of the producers for AEW, is going to be none other than DX's old cohort, Billy Gunn. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that might have angered someone. If they were all pro WWE and you can't go there, that's the land of traitors and whatnot. And I just went on Twitter just over exaggerated with imagining Vince is screaming out, "Traitor!" Even though Vince fired him. Because let's be real, there has to be some sort of dissension within WWE following AEW and what happened. So, Billy Gunn has been announced as a producer at AEW. No idea where that's going to lead to. But they also announced that Pyro is going to be on the show, so they won that war already. Okay, I can't, but I am glad that they're going to bring in Pyro, which does raise the question that someone should have brought up. How is it that an infancy company is delivering pyro, and yet the multi-billion-dollar company that has all the access to pyrotechnics in the world won't do it? And this is just a rally, and they had no reason to do so. So, yeah, the first event of the show was the reveal of some 3 new guys: SoCal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. They have all signed with AEW, so SoCal Uncensored has defected from Ring of Honor to AEW. And according to him, and Cody Rhodes afterwards would kind of make some subtle shots at WWE. I know he might not be intentionally trying to make shots, but come on, I think he's kind of nudging people, saying, hey, you hear what I'm saying? Where he talks about how there would be, where the wrestlers would be the highest, where the wrestlers would be the highest paid members of the company, wins and losses will matter, there would be no blatant favoritism, i.e. no Roman Reigns push, and then Matt and Nick Jackson came out, and Matt revealed that a Chinese-based promotion called Ordinal Wrestling Entertainment, OWE, would be partnering up with them to share talent. Nick then announced that All Elite Wrestling would be hosting their Double or Nothing event at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada on May 25th. And then we got this bit of news. So, Chief Brand Officer Brandy Rhodes, Cody's wife, went ahead and announced that not only will there be a women's division, but that pay would be equal between the male and female wrestlers. And then brought out their first announcement, their first wrestler women to be signed, Britt Baker, aka Adam Cole's girlfriend. And I joked again saying Vince is going to tell Adam Cole to break up with her now. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the report actually did break out and it said Adam Cole was told to break up with Britt Baker because Vince is a petty bastard. But that's just a conspiracy angle I'm going for because I just love doing that. So yeah, All Elite Wrestling has now acquired Adam Cole's girlfriend Britt Baker, aka Dr. Britt Baker, because she is also she also does have a practice outside of wrestling. And the whole equal pay between the genders of wrestlers. Okay, so there was more details about that on Twitter. I'm typing it up right now since I don't have my phone with me. But yeah, when I heard this, it was like, okay, equal pay between the genders. This is what Brandy Rhodes said on Twitter just a little over 7 hours ago at the time of this video. Equal pay means equal opportunity regardless of sex. It does not mean that everyone will be paid the exact same salary regardless of their position. It means the gender pay gap does not apply. An entry-level woman won't make less than an entry-level man because of her gender. Okay, so yeah, the idea was I think there was a lot of debate about what they meant by equal pay after the show, after the Little Rally, where so like is it gonna be like if this guy makes $1 million, that means she's gonna make $1 million? I think it's gonna be more like tier based things, like if you're in the lower card, you both make an equal amount of $5,000. I'm just speaking hypothetically terms. If you're mid card, you make $10,000. If you're upper mid card, you're $100,000. If you're main event talent, you're $1 million. All guaranteed for both genders. So clearly, there's going to be a tier based system of a equal pay route. I don't know how this will affect merchandise sales. They did not talk about merchandise sales. But then we got an unexpected surprise from a former competitor of All In, MLW's MJF. Made his way to the ring and basically mocked the president of the company. Yeah, that's going to be a good first great impression on the job. He announced he was joining the company, and then he was cut off by the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot, Jackson, who distracted him long enough to get hit in the back of the head with a crutch by bad boy Joey Janelle and his, I think they said his former girlfriend, but they're still together in kayfabe, how he and Penelope Ford have both signed with AEW. Then we got Adam Page, Hangman Page, hooray. He came out and cut a promo about how he wanted to be AEW's first champion. And then we got the biggest acquisition they got. Former WWE superstar Neville, aka now Pac again, shows up with the Dragon Gate Championship, and he cuts a promo saying he's now signed with AEW. And I was like, yes! Yes! He signed with them. Oh god, finally. That was the one guy I wanted in that company, besides Kenny Omega. In fact, I jokingly said, like, imagine if Pac came out, like, not in his wrestling gear. That was the last thing I expected from him, but he's sticking to character and being the Boston Pac that he likes to be. But the thing that really would have made me laugh and entertain is if Kenny Omega was there, but he's not because of the whole contractual stuff going on, and his contract's not up till the 31st, so we'll know by then. That Pac would come out, stare down with Kenny Omega, then sign his AEW contract by saying, "Fuck WWE," and then walk off. And it's like, okay, that would be freaking hilarious if he did that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did that, considering how bitter he must feel about WWE. I'm just saying speculatory terms because he has a lot of reasons to be bitter. He was put in a division no one cared about at the time. Triple H wouldn't take over until after he had left, and then after Enzo was fired for a variety of circumstances. And yeah, Pac was being told, and I think what really pushed Pac over the edge was when he was told by Enzo and by extension Vince, by the writing team that, oh, we appreciate everything you've done for us, but you're not main event talent. You see, you are not in the main event because of you. You're in the main event because of Enzo, the guy that was only here because of merchandising. Way to tell your talent to go F themselves. Why do you think he quit and walked? So yeah, Pac is here in AEW, so thumbs up for that. We got everything we want out of that. And they announced that there would be another event in Jacksonville where they would go ahead and basically made a note that the portions of the ticket sales would go to the victims of gun violence. And it was like, we salute you. And then we got a surprise guest showing up. The Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, Chris Jericho, playing his theme song Judas, and he announced that he would be joining AEW as well, and that he'd be wrestling at Double or Nothing. He even signed his contract after the rally, and that ended the show. So some details had then emerged after the event where they would start to announce stuff small at a time. That basically that AEW would do something that was unexpected. Like, not only would they do the equal pay system, but they also, and they're ironing out the details on this, don't take this fully yet, that all the wrestlers who get injured will be covered. There's going to be insurance. All you have to say is that they'll be paid even when they're injured, and you basically covered them for life. And basically, WWE just had, like, oh, shit. Because, yeah, they announced that, and yeah, I know I'm wearing this shirt. It's my work outfit. Like, I had come home from work and wanted to do this video, and it's daylight savings time, so what can I do? And all my wrestling shirts were getting cleaned. Like, originally, I wanted to do my Tetsuya Naito's faction shirt when I talked about Tetsuya Naito versus Jericho, but my clothes were getting cleaned, so missed opportunity there, I know. So, yeah, anyways. So, yeah, Chris Jericho has officially signed with AEW. What was WWE's response to this? Basically, they might as well just posted a meme saying traitor, because after Chris Jericho, just hours after Jericho did the signing and made the official statement that he's joining AEW, WWE moved him to the alumni page, which I understand. He was no longer, though that does raise the question, if he was no longer under contract at the time, why did they not move him back to the alumni page? Oh wait, they still thought they could keep him. So, in order to prove... So that wasn't what was petty. What was petty is that, remember that new video intro they produced where basically the showing the past, present, and the future, and the intro for SmackDown? Yeah, they immediately went ahead and, okay, we're editing it out. Okay, Jericho doesn't exist anymore. Jericho doesn't exist. The boss gave the word. Jericho doesn't exist anymore. And I'm just like, Vince, just accept reality that this is not your world anymore. It isn't. Like, it's not been in his world for a while, but I'm just annoyed more than pissed off because, look, if they really removed Jericho from the intro because he signed with AEW, it's like is the context is that he's removed from the SmackDown video? Because if so, it's like, I kind of forgot there was an intro. They keep just forgetting about that. Or did they remove him from the WWE opening intro for all shows, which wouldn't surprise me. Though that does raise the question, though. Hogan was in TNA. He signed with Impact, and then did the incident. And before the incident, they kept his face in the intro, even though he was in a rival company, or at least a company that Vince kind of took seriously. Like, he fired a guy for just showing up there and being in the crowd. But yeah, so AEW just did the big rally. It was phenomenally, it was awesome. I can't wait what's going to happen on there. However, there was something that happened just after the event. There was apparently an alleged story going around on the internet where WWE was telling people who wore AEW merchandise, saying, get out. Oh, and change your clothes. Then we'll let you back in. And I took that with a grain of salt. I wrote that WWE just continues to create that divide between fans and the company. And then there was a video that came out from a fan who was at the show, who was at the rally and got the merchandise, was being told that WWE, that they were told now, you can bring your AEW merchandise back in. And they were like, well, really? That's not what I was told. So that does kind of confirm that, yeah, Vince did give the pathetic edict of, AEW merchandise is bad. I'm triggered. It's like, okay, Vince, do you really need me to quote Vince Russo? If you're number one, don't acknowledge number two, because to you, they should not be there. They shouldn't exist. But when you react in such a disgusting way that makes you say that you're going to discriminate certain people because they have chosen one company over the other, and I'm like, can't they like both? Can't they like any wrestling company? If someone, like, the reason why you let people with Bullet Club shirts come in was because you wanted to sell the whole Bullet Club thing with the club angle, and look how that worked out. But like, okay, and someone actually defended the company on this, saying that, why would they want to promote their own competitors? I was like thinking, like, back in 2006, this was and I know this is when WWE was more lenient. WWE did a show in No Way Out, and when I was watching showing the video about it, I saw a fan in the camera section when I was watching a match between Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. Oh, look, he has a Ring of Honor shirt on. He shouldn't be here, right? It's a shirt! I'm pretty certain mainstream fans don't even know what Ring of Honor was. And the whole idea that, would they focus on the thing? No! Besides, Kevin doesn't just like to focus on anything for more than 2 seconds. But that's a completely different subject. The idea of that WWE would take their effort off the wrestlers and onto the audience wearing a shirt, it'd be like, what? It just confounds me that someone actually went and defended the idea of the company should have the right to basically discriminate. And yeah, but like, yeah. So Cody had said in an interview when someone told him about this, he says that like if WWE really was doing that, then you had to be a bunch of idiots to turn away paying customers. Good fucking point. So even Cody was pointing out that if this is true, and he took it with a grain of salt, that if it's true, then they're a bunch of idiots for doing that. But Jericho also said that they're going to change the universe. I wonder where that universe phrase came from. I'm like, the Elite was all about changing the world. And also, his other response to the AEW event was basically subtly doing the whole saying that we have elite class talent. And I was like, I am curious what goes on in your head, Vince. Like, and the idea, if someone points out that, oh, that's just taking it too far, like, that's just nitpicking at this point. Yeah, here's the thing. This isn't the first time WWE did a subtle commentary dig at another person or a company. Like, when Corey Graves announced his retirement due to his concussion injury at a TakeOver event during the early days of NXT on WWE Network, this was just a little bit, a month or so after the events of CM Punk's podcast with Colt Cabana, where CM Punk did attack the medical team of WWE, and then Corey Graves just somehow out of nowhere brings up how the world-class medical staff of WWE, and I was like, what? Okay, that was weird phrasing, but okay. Then a report broke out that WWE deliberately told him, okay, so we got the word. Vince wants you to basically bitch us to CM Punk like a little baby. Oh yeah, we know you're retiring and we know you're depressed about that, but we kind of don't care. We're kind of soulless freaks like that sometimes. We don't really care about human emotions. We fired Jimmy Jacobs over a selfie. So, yeah, anyways. Yeah, I was just like, if they really did do this, and there is a video that could supports this theory about WWE blocking people from attending the show or buying tickets because they wore a shirt, it's like, what was so offensive about the shirt? The fact it was another company? Whoop-de-fucking-do. You had a bunch of people wear WCW and ECW shirts back then. You had people wear Ring of Honor shirts back then. You let them come in. Why is this such a big deal? Unless Vince really does see these guys as a threat, because now it's been said that WWE talent is now, AEW. Looks like a promising place. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Revival wants to jump ship. Like, they've been screwed for weeks and weeks. I would be all for them just saying, fuck it, top guy's out. But yeah, it's going to be very fascinating for the next couple of months. And there has been word going around about a TV deal that might be coming. It's just who is providing the TV deal is the surprising factor. Time Warner, the original owners of WCW. Well, the last time they had a wrestling show on TNT or any of the Turner Broadcasting networks was WCW. They haven't had a wrestling show on their networks since 2001. And the idea that they're calling and saying, hey, AEW, we've been hearing you getting a lot of word. Would you like to be on our network? Should say how powerful this is. It could be probably because of the fact they got the freaking owners of the Jacksonville Jaguar funding them. But here's the thing. Someone actually told me they don't like the idea of Time Warner having a say, so to speak. But like, here's the difference I saw with Time Warner's giving AEW a show as opposed to WCW's handling. WCW was owned by Time Warner. AEW wouldn't be owned by them. They'd be just working with them on the network. That's basically it. Like, okay, maybe they might have some edicts, like the whole, like they did in WCW, but I think the bigger difference was that WCW was legitimately owned by Ted Turner and the Time Warner networks, whereas AEW is his own company and self-independent, but they just have a network on their show, on their they just have a show on their network. But yeah, AEW, they did this rally. It was awesome. Yeah, there were some issues with the lag. I do love all the details coming out of it. I'm looking forward to more in the future. It's going to be a very crazy 2019. Wrestling is going to be freaking awesome this year. Yeah. Rest in peace, Mean Jin. Sadly, the year had to be crappy already with that depressing news that happened. Would have been cool if he announced one last show. But, yeah. And there's currently no idea about Jim Ross. And even CM Punk hints at AEW. But honestly, if he doesn't go back to wrestling, I'll be perfectly alright with that. Like, he clearly just wants to get out of the business. And him fueling this speculation probably didn't help. But we'll see where the Elite and AEW are going to take this company. They're going to take it to the stratosphere, in my opinion. They're going to break the stratosphere and break that glass ceiling that is placed on every other company in America. I honestly, another person I hope sides with AEW is Shinsuke Nakamura. He has expressed he doesn't want to go back to Japan. He wants to live in Florida with his family. He's moved his family to Florida. AEW's in Florida, and the idea of a rising company, you're already financially secured. You could just make great matches and work a lighter schedule, and therefore you be insured. You be covered for any potential injuries. Think about it, Nakamura. They're not really doing anything with you, so I would take the plunge. So, yeah, those were our thoughts on All Elite Wrestling's rally and the subsequent company details that came out. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. If you like, comment, subscribe, and donate, stay tuned for more. And let's change the world, baby!